This is the world's first camera with a 1-inch sensor which allows for interchangeable lenses. I've got two, they're very pink and was way ahead of its time. So far ahead that Apple had to steal some of its features 4 years down the road. I'm reviewing it in a city that also claims many world's firsts, one of the most famous being the first commercial maglev train, which reaches speeds of 430 kilometers per hour. Still not as fast as the J1 though, you'll see. So where might we actually be? Now, even though this looks like a scene straight out of Infinity Castle, we are actually not in Japan. So, folks, welcome to China. The f*** that guy kid has a gun? I thought there were no guns in China, but apparently I was wrong. Dead wrong, because we are in the mafia central of China. You may think of Shanghai as a futuristic city with modernized ancient architecture and ladies from a time long since forgotten. Whoa, she looked at me twice. But those of us who know that the city had a rich history of gangs building the city. I'm not kidding when I say this is a children's show. Guns are in a way part of the culture. So welcome to Contrast Central. Can this little Nikon capture the wildness of the city? And why do I have two in the pink? But first I gotta up my vibrance setting to match. What is this feeling? I feel young again, like I've been euthanized. I'm like the definition of euthanasia, which means I get to say this.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Now that I've become a teenage heartthrob again since my original heartthrob era, it's time to test out this camera. And yes, I peaked very early. Oh no, this is broken. It's okay, I have a backup. Oh no, this is broken too. Which brings us to why I have two in the pink. Cameras, that is. Because this camera that I brought came with a broken lens and these two lenses came with a broken camera. I usually don't tolerate unreliability, but I heard that there was a fix. So I started taking it apart. And immediately I noticed the attention to details in the J1. First, I love the color choice on the metal front panel. It's beautifully painted and contrasts perfectly with the matte plastic top. There's also a third pink highlight on the buttons and metal lens rings. 3 shades of pink match with white lettering. It's like strawberry swirl ice cream. I also love how the top-down view here looks like a classic racetrack, and that the black panel with the buttons here doesn't interfere with the racetrack aesthetics. But the real kicker was that when I went to undo the screws,
even the screws are pink. That's cool.
I absolutely loved the effort they put into the aesthetics, which meant I had to be incredibly careful disassembling it so I don't scratch off the paint. Compared to the Olympus EP3 I had to modify myself, this pink J1 may be one of the most playful cameras, stock. While this gets taken apart, I also like to answer one of the recent comments. Where did the baddie come from? Simple, just look at me. This is what peak male performance looks like. Fluffy sky blue hoodie, unshaven stubbles, and no pants. And the ability to solder the shit out of a camera.
Ladies love it. Men love it even more.
Guess what? Soldering it and bypassing the fuse turned it on.
Sweet.
But does it still shoot?
It works.
Now that we have two functional bodies with two functional lenses, it means we can go and see if the J1 can capture the essence of its birthplace. Snapping photos near the Bund. The first thing that stood out was the grip. In a sea of people, you don't want this slipping. Now you think a smooth body like this would be slippery, but the small form factor lets you wrap your entire hand around it. And a surprisingly nice lack of a feature, no touchscreen. My thumb constantly slips onto modern touchscreens and accidentally changing focus points or settings. It's really refreshing that I don't have to worry about any of that. With the J1, I can plant my hand anywhere. That's what she said. It's refreshingly old school. It's surprisingly solid too. Metal built with no creaks or give when you try to hold it really tight. Listen, I'm pressing hard on this body. That's also what she said. Not a problem even if you death grip it during snow tubing. As night fell, I realized the vibration reduction in the lenses are good, but it's not magic. With the slower kit lenses, you still get some shaky photos. I wanted to go back to the hotel to get my tripod, but yeah, I'm not walking through that crowd twice. Still, the 10 megapixel resolution and noise controls are surprisingly usable. You can easily make out faces. And the grain feels far less digital than the Olympus EP3 I reviewed in Mexico. The Olympus had awful color blotching and grid lines everywhere. The J1's noise leaned more film-like, which is impressive for a smaller sensor. The next day I went for the most famous soup dumpling in the world, invented right here. The line took up both sides of the street. Perfect time to take some candid photos. In this packed lineup, maybe I can even sneak in a couple of panty shots. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Funny enough, due to communism, this insane line only took 30 minutes. The prices are at a slight premium, but nothing crazy. The dumplings were incredible. It contains crab roe and piping hot soup. I'm gonna be brave here. I'm just trying to pop it in. No, I'm gonna be a coward. I mean, eventually I do stop being a coward and pop it in. I should have gotten two of these. The balance of the flavor, you can taste both the pork and the crab. And it's just so simple and perfect. You can see the soup squishing around in there. So you can see the soup squishing around in there. I wanted more, but for efficiency's sake, you don't get a second round. You order one so that everybody gets a turn. Capitalistic communism. Kinda weird, but it does make sense. They make just as much money, but keeps it fair for the people. And now I want to test out how good the kit lenses are. So I headed over to the old street of Shanghai. They call it that, but it's got all kinds of new modern shops. But it is pretty, and they've nailed the lighting at night. Now both lenses feel really good in the hand. I really started appreciating the telephoto lens. It produced sharp, colorful images with nice background bokeh. The standard zoom produced pretty good images too. It's got bright colors as well, but the telephoto feels sharper and produces better bokeh because of the focal length. Because I didn't get enough little dumplings, I bought a giant one and immediately ran into what some might assume to be an obnoxious tourist.
Now we're seeing the guy drink his soup.
Just burned my lip. That guy saw me drink a soup. It's very observant of him. Now when I go to your country, see you eating a burger and then loudly ASMR next to your ear, hey, this guy's pounding lard and diabetes. Yes, I would actually. And I have. So I know better. That guy was Trump's security detail.
And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force.
Soup force.
So when he said,
now we're seeing the guy drink his soup.
He was just scouting the ghettos of Shanghai so the president would avoid people like me with dangerous weapons in their hands and in their mouths. Because
it's the perfect size, it's like made perfect.
This guy is why I personally support the US, the US, the US. And that's the way I like it. I like it. I love it. This chant is wildly ahead of its time, just like the J1. Apple released live photos on the iPhone 6s in 2015, but the J1 had this feature 4 years prior. Nikon called it Motion Snapshot, and it's better because it plays a song along with it. Granted, it's the same song every time, but we'll let that slide. Other cool details, the sweet retro pop-up flash, auto power on when you extend the lens, and being able to grab a still in movie mode. But don't mistake cute friendliness as weakness, because the J1, like Chinese culture, doesn't pull punches. For example, are you fat? Because even weight loss medication will just say it's for fat people. In North America, we're euthanizing every negative word to seem nicer, but then we'll have to euthanize it again a few years down the road. In China, it's like, people's been fat for 5,000 years, a new word isn't gonna change anything. And you can see a similar sentiment in this kids' amusement park. You've got the fun kid stuff, and then the shows about atrocities, disasters, gang violence, and oh yeah, even public executions for the revolutionaries who tried to take down the billionaire class. It's a fun park that gets pretty intense. Them kids gotta learn sometimes, right? But same thing with the Nikon, because this thing went full out. It's the first interchangeable lens camera system with the mechanical shutter removed. Electronic shutter only. It lets you take photos in 60 frames per second, in RAW. 15 years later, not even the flagship Nikon Z9 can keep up. That's absurdly cool. Speaking of modern Nikon cameras, I've been giving Nikon a hard time on the lack of physical controls on the ZR. But look at this, even the J1 has more buttons. I can still lock focus with my thumb. It does lack customizable buttons, but overall, it's enough. The only kind of weak point of this camera is movie mode. Kinda. It shoots 1080p, but in less than optimal lighting, it loses crispness. And the lens VR feels weak during video. But still, it beats my EP3 in movies and is quite usable. But finally, to understand who this camera is for, we have to come to one of the tallest towers of Shanghai. There are two reasons to visit a tower like this. One is if you're new to the city and can appreciate a nice overview of it. Like a new photographer who wants to step into the interchangeable lens world. The J1 lenses has a zoom ring, but no manual focus ring anywhere. You have to rely on its autofocus system, which thankfully is very good. There's no optical or electronic viewfinder options either, so it's really not meant to be a pro body. The second reason, you are a seasoned photographer that's been walking the city a bit too long. You're tired and would like to take a break from the busy streets or heavy gear. Kinda like this mom here. This tower and the J1 serves both the tired mom and the learning child perfectly. It bridges the gap between a fun point and shoot and a serious DSLR. And given all the great things about the Nikon J1, I wanted to give it a positive 8 out of 10. But instead, I'm gonna give it a negative 3 out of 10. Bruh. Because most people should stay away from this camera. Why? Because any part of this system can fail at any moment, turning this into a brick. And bricks are useless because
you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right?
Why can't you be more like soup, J1? The body can fail due to a poorly designed circuit, a blown fuse, or both. If you're willing to open this up and solder it yourself, it's a bit of a gamble, but it could be an easy fix. The biggest downfall here are the lenses. Both of these have a deadly failure that you pretty much can't fix yourself. After my trip, this 10 to 30mm died as well. So now I have 2 of these that are broken and a telephoto that is still functioning for now. This was a known issue. It was so bad that Nikon once offered to repair these for free, but that program has been dead since 2021. The failure comes from a broken ribbon cable or a cracked plastic gear controlling the aperture blades. My lens is completely dark because the aperture fails to open. This fix is so much more complicated than just soldering the body. My telephoto still works, but it shares the exact same issue. So this is a ticking time bomb as well. And yes, you could buy one of the other 11 Nikon 1 system lenses, but that's not a lot of choices. And this pink only comes in these 2 lenses, but it's such a cool color. I can't completely blame Nikon because bad batches happens in manufacturing, and some defects only show up over time. But it's a shame that this one tiny $1 component ruins this camera's legacy. But at least now you have a reviewer that will help you drive down the prices of cameras instead of bumping them up all the time. Show this video to your eBay sellers to knock their price down a bit. Before we completely dismiss the Nikon 1 system though, I might have found a way to salvage it. Via a lens expansion so dangerously fast, it would make it safe to carry
bags of soup, big bags of soup.
Again. Because while I have 2 of these Nikon J1s in the pink, I like this so much that I got a different Nikon 1 camera in the green. And I'll review it in what could be the most scenic part of China. Anyways, help me out by giving a like, comment, subscription, or just share this. And yes, there are more car reviews coming, but it's taking me more time to produce. Do you support the US, the US, the US, and that's the way you like it, you love it? Let me know.